Are you willing to forgive yourself and others so that you can live a life of freedom? I know that many people struggle to forgive. I know that many people struggle to let go of the past. I know that many people struggle with this process. And I think that the reason for that is because they are still attached to the importance, to the resentment, to the anger. Now, for example, if I were to give you some tools this week that were to support you in the process of being willing to forgive, would that provide a space for you to live in freedom? If I were to give you some tools and techniques this week that were to help you, support you in letting go, would that be a great space for you to live in freedom? If this is what you're looking for, type in yes in the comment section below. Like this post, and I'm going to share it on the Thrive Being You Facebook group. So if you want to find out some tools that will help you let go, type in yes in the comment section below. Type in yes in the comment section below. All right, so I am sharing this on the Thrive Being You Facebook group. Those of you who are not part of the Thrive Being You Facebook group, jump on over there now. And I'm sharing it on my personal page. Okay, there we go, shared. What I might do actually is I've decided that I'm going to show up at 8:28 from now on. At 8:28 from now on, and I'll do the sharing beforehand so that at 8:30 we are live to go and get started. So this week what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at how it is that we can release, and how it is that we can forgive ourselves and others so that we can live a life of freedom. Louise Hay often talks about this idea of being willing to release, being willing to forgive. Now, I know that a lot of us find it very difficult to forgive and forget, and we hold a lot of anger and we hold a lot of resentment. Now, I'm not saying that what people have done to you in the past is right. But what I am saying is that if we were to be able to find a space where we can be okay with what they have done so that we can forgive them, then wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be great to be able to provide that space for us? So Louise Hay often talks about that, yes, even though you don't want to right now, if you were to at least say that you are willing, I am willing to forgive myself. I am willing to forgive others. I am willing to try. And this week, what I'm going to invite you to do every single day this week is to look at yourself in the mirror and to say, I am willing. And the affirmation I'd like you to say, and I'd like you to grab a pen and write this down, write this affirmation down. I am willing to forgive you. Every time you get upset by somebody, every time you get angry at yourself or somebody else, so I want you to say this to yourself and others. I'm inviting you to say, I am willing to forgive you. I am willing to forgive you for not being the way that I wanted you to be. I forgive you and I set you free. Because every time we get angry with someone or upset with someone, it's because we had a preconceived idea of what we expected them to be or how we expected them to treat us. So what we're doing is we're saying, I am willing to forgive you for not being the way that I expected you to be. We create, as you know, all these boxes. And when somebody doesn't fit into a particular box, we get upset. We get angry. Now, wouldn't it be freeing if we were to realize that the reason we get upset with people a lot of the time is because they are not fulfilling an expectation. So we become attached to the outcome that we have expected and we have perceived and we have created and we think that society should react as or be as. So imagine a space where you were to say, I am willing to forgive you for not being, not acting the way that I expect you to be. You see, willingness is the secret key. Louise Hay talks about this, and she says, willingness is the secret to the healing process. My question is, what is it that you would like to let go of this week? What is it that you would like to forgive? Who would you like to forgive? And start writing down a list. Who is it that you feel you need to forgive? What is it that you need to let go of this week? And start writing down a list so that during this week, what we can do is we can start being willing to release all of those emotions and those thoughts that are keeping us trapped, that are keeping us shackled. Because guys, here's the hard truth. If we don't let go, we are going to remain shackled in the past. And if we are shackled in the past, then we cannot create a future that is a future of freedom. So it's really important that we do this. I'm asking you this week, I'm inviting you this week to choose to be willing to forgive. If you can't forgive this week, I'm asking you to choose to be willing. In my workshops, what we often do is we joke about, some of the participants say to me, okay, I'm choosing to be willing, 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 to be willing to forgive, because they say to me that they can't be willing, they're not willing right now. So you may not be willing right now, but are you willing to be willing to forgive your father? Or are you willing to be willing to forgive your mother? Or are you willing to forgive yourself? And this is one thing that I'm working on, is forgiving myself for all the things that I have blamed myself for, said that I was wrong for. So this week is a really powerful week for me too. I'm looking at releasing the blame that I've placed on myself for not being perfect. So this is a really, really powerful week. And what I'm also going to invite you to do is I'm going to invite you to start committing to 30 minutes every day with me. Start committing 30 minutes of your life to living in the space of freedom. So what am I inviting you to do? What I'm inviting you to do this week is I'm inviting you to listen to our theme song. Our theme song this week is Let It Go by Frozen. So I'm inviting you to sit for 3 minutes every morning, close your eyes, and listen to that song. The song is about 3 minutes in length. Once you have listened to that song, you take out your journal, and what you do is you write down what came into your awareness. What came into your awareness from listening to that song? And I'm going to ask that you set your alarm for 10 minutes. Once those 10 minutes are up, stop writing. And then the remaining 15 minutes that are left in those 30 minutes that I'm asking you to commit yourself, you listen to this video. You listen to the daily video that I broadcast on Facebook. Yeah, are you willing to do that? Give me a thumbs up if you are willing, if you are committed to spending 30 minutes every day so that you can start creating a life where you live in freedom. Give me a thumbs up if you are willing to sit for 3 minutes every day listening to Frozen. Give me a thumbs up if you're willing to do that. Great, I'm getting some thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you are willing to write down for 10 minutes the awareness that comes into your mind. So you've got your journal in for 10 minutes, you set your alarm and you write down the thoughts that come up for you. Give me a thumbs up if you are willing to do that. Okay? And give me a thumbs up if you are committing to watching my Facebook Lives every single morning at 8:30. Give me a thumbs up if you are committing to 30 minutes. Are you willing to forgive yourself and to forgive others so that you can start creating a life of freedom? Until we let go of the past, we will remain shackled and we won't be able to live in freedom. So, this is it. Every day I'm going to ask that what you do is you say the affirmation, I am willing to forgive you for not being the way that I expect you to be. I forgive you and I set you free. I am willing to forgive you for not being the way that I wanted you to be. I forgive you and I set you free. Say that to yourself. Say that to others every time they upset you. Spend 3 minutes every morning listening to that song, 10 minutes writing down, and the rest of the 15 minutes listen to my daily Facebook videos. This week is going to be powerful. This week we are going to let go. This week we are going to forgive. And this week we are going to start creating a space where we can start creating next week the life that we want, the life that is a life of freedom. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you tomorrow at 8:30. Bye.